Do you need something?
Why is she pointing at you?
Pointing is rude. Oh, wait, we're live?
Oh, hey.
Oh, hey, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Mayor Tyler Moore Show here on the Kokomo Post, partnered with Robert Miller & Son Furniture. My name is Drew Larison. This is MTM.
And we have a guest producer today.
Behind the camera. Guest producer is producer Aaron. And also Parker and it's just a full house going on today. How about it? Mr. Mayor, how are you?
Great. Super. How are you? We were both in Michigan.
We were.
Like you had more fun than I did, though.
Oh, yeah. We had a great little Father's Day weekend.
Awesome.
Father's Day trip up to, some would say God's country up in Michigan. I was in Detroit, so no one says that about Detroit. It's more of like the lakes and the water that they call God's country. But yeah, we had a good little trip.
Awesome.
Yeah. How about you?
I went a little further north. As I mentioned, my daughter's getting married in September, and one of the
you got a lot of kid.
I know.
Like they waited, and then they're like, boom, now.
Well, it's just been the girls. I mean, luckily my 3 boys are slow rolling things, and so it may be a while before they do anything. But yeah, so destination wedding up around Charlevoix, which is nice to say. Fun little lake community up there, but that's where the wedding in September is going to be. So we drove up to check out the place, meet with the planner, nail down a few more things, and just take in the sights and scenes that Charlevoix, Michigan can offer.
I love that. You know who else has got a lot of like sights and scenes going on? It's our partners at Robert Miller & Son Furniture. Kick off your summer this June with huge savings at Robert Miller & Son. Take 25%. You heard me right. 25% off store-wide, plus an extra 5%. You're still hearing me, right? When you pay with cash. And to celebrate American craftsmanship, take an additional 5% off. Man, you get a 5%. You get a 5%. You get a 5%. If you do all the things that I said.
But
take an additional
35.
Additional 5% off with furniture made in the USA. Whether that's upgrading your living room or your patio, now is the perfect time to refresh your home with quality American crafted furniture. America. Our knowledgeable team is here to make you find just what you need this summer. Visit our Kokomo showroom today at the Kokomo Town Center. These summer savings won't last long, which is a shame that summer doesn't last long because there's always a lot of fun stuff going on in Kokomo in the summer.
Yep. Yeah, the Kokomo Center just off the newly paved 931.
Oh my gosh. About time.
Sorry, folks, the speed bumps are gone.
We had that guy last week who loved those speed bumps.
I know.
You know, it was good for him. What's going on at City Hall this week?
What is going on at City Hall this week? Well, we're finalizing the selection process for the soon-to-be new baseball, baseball franchise in town. So we'll have hopefully an announcement halfway through the week or so as we finalize that. So that's exciting. Still doing a little bit of cleanup of all the aftermath of Saturday's not-so-fun rain event. Our thoughts and prayers out to everybody who experienced some loss in some way, shape, or form on the south end of town that were affected by the floodwaters, and hopefully enough of it has receded and they're getting the help that they need. But kudos to our first responders, fire department, police department for sending out rescue squads, our street department, the county highway department, because there's the sinkhole and a couple of them along Alto heading out west. But our emergency management agency folks that assisted as well. It was just an all hands on deck from everybody as well as neighbors. I mean, obviously that's what Kokomo is known for. We're Kokomo strong. So neighbors out helping neighbors. But it was just a fast and furious, unexpected incident on Saturday. So we hope folks are rebounding as best they can. I know emergency management agency put out on their Facebook page. The city has shared it. I'm sure the county has as well, and a few others. But if folks, there's a link to disaster relief services if you feel that your damage was substantial enough to qualify as such, or if you want more information, go to Emergency Management Agency's Facebook page, City Facebook page, Howard County Facebook page, Howard County Sheriff Facebook page, wherever, I mean, and get information that potential assistance if it qualifies or if it warrants. So.
Yeah, so we were both out of town when all this was happening. So it was crazy to be not here and just seeing like the photos. I feel like everybody that had a drone put it up in the air this weekend to take like photos and videos of all the flooding. Do we know, was it just an excessive amount of rain or did some drainage systems fail? Well, like it was intense.
I think that contributed to it, but it was just that storm cell. And according to our street superintendent that was kind of monitoring it when he woke up in the wee hours of the morning, the north edge of that was along Markland, and he said it got stuck over Kokomo and Howard County and was just slow moving and kind of hovered a little bit, and it just dumped a buttload of rain in a short amount of time. I mean, there were some areas that rain gauges were registering anywhere from 5 to 7 inches of rain, and it just coming down that fast. Nothing can keep up with that. And if folks have their sump pumps or downspouts from their homes hooked up or linked to the stormwater sewer lines for the city, then that overloads it. I mean, that's what's been contributing to a lot of the incidents, either along Dixon there or other areas where manhole covers get blown off. It's because, again, sump pumps, instead of draining out into yards, or downspouts draining out into yards, they've got them somehow hooked into the stormwater system drainage with the city. And so...
Is that legal?
Not supposed to be. Area. Yeah, it's a gray area.
Okay.
But yeah, so that is what contributes to a lot of it. So yeah, you've got that. You've got the farm fields there that are all draining into the regulated drains that then work their ways into the natural waterways, and those natural waterways are the retention ponds that were affected that typically retain or detain in either case waters for slow. I mean, those already having water in them and then being overloaded the same way. It was just a series of unfortunate events centered in and around that big major weather event that hovered that morning for however many hours, and it just socked us.
Which is really weird. We've joked about it, but Kokomo sometimes has like this force field around it when it comes to like big storms and thunderstorms and things like that. And this just didn't go that way. So, I mean, like I said, some of the photos, I know the Heights got hit pretty hard. I know it was mostly the south side.
And it was great. I mean, it was everything south of Markland, it seemed like. I mean, things on the north side of Markland, there was folks out at, again, Indian Heights and some of those areas getting recording 4, 5, 6 inches of rain during that event. Folks up on the northwest side of the city or the county, 3/4 inch maybe. It's just crazy how nature is.
I'm in a group text with some friends, and 2 of us live on the north side, and then 1 lives on the south side. And he was texting us like it's the apocalypse. He couldn't get into his neighborhood. It was crazy. And my friend who also lives on the north side was like, I don't know what Kokomo you're living in right now. Everything's fine, like where I'm at. It was just crazy, because usually we're not that big of a community in town. So like usually if one is getting hit, the other one is getting hit as well.
Right.
Yeah. Well, that is crazy. But I mean, the photos that I've been seeing, obviously multiple homes were potentially just completely destroyed. So very, empathetic towards those families, and hopefully, we can get your home, whether that can be taken care of and fixed, and hopefully the insurance companies are cooperating, because a flood can just be devastating. It is, to homes and families, because there's not a lot you can do to prepare for it. It just kind of hits. So okay, well, happy late Father's Day.
Yes, happy late Father's Day to you as well.
Happy first Father's Day as a grandfather, Grandpa Mayer.
Awesome.
I love that. So, I mean, how'd you celebrate as your first, grandfather?
Well, again, we were driving back, so I spent a good portion of it on the road, getting back home, but then getting back and just camping out in the recliner and getting some little man time. Had to share with Ann, of course, and the others. But yeah, I got some FaceTime with the little one.
I love that.
It was good. Ran home at lunch, got a little bit more FaceTime with him. So I love it. I love that they're here.
I love that. Very cool.
Yep.
Well, we're going to jump into the Ask the Mayor segment here on the Kokomo Post. But before, I do want to talk about the Kokomo Post Pass. We haven't talked about this in a bit, so I just want to bring that up. If you are looking to experience Kokomo in a deeper way, not just this summer, but always, make sure to go to kokomopost.com/postpass and sign up for our new subscription program that we have. So it includes access to specific content that we're giving out for Post Pass members, as well as like a ridiculous amount of have what we're calling post perks or post pass perks that are all across the city. Hundreds of dollars of savings are in this post pass program. So make sure to go to check that out. thekokomopost.com/post pass. It's only $5 a month. You quickly, and I'm not kidding, quickly make your investment back every single month by using some of those post pass perks that pop up. Go in there. So make sure to go to thekokomopost.com/post pass. Sign up for that. Only $5 a month. It also includes 50x entries to every one of our monthly sweepstakes, which is wild. So, I mean, there's so many benefits to that post pass. Make sure to go check that out right now or later.
VIP status on the Halloween, former patio party, but now
just the post party. And that's going to come up quick, isn't it? October is going to be here before we know it. Yeah. So awesome. Before we get into the Ask the Mayor segment, we do have another ad read from Best Price Fireworks, because it is fireworks season.
There you go.
And I know some booms and bams are being talked about online. We're going to talk Best Price Fireworks is here to help make your 4th of July unforgettable with 2 convenient locations on 931 beside Buffalo Wild Wings and Chuck E. Cheese, and at 413 East Center Road in the Gabe's Pizza Plaza. Best Price Fireworks offers the best selection at the bottom, or the best prices, all right here in your hometown. So whether you're looking to light up the sky for the first time or you're a seasoned fireworks pro, you'll find everything you need to make your celebration shine, from classic sparklers to jaw-dropping grand finales. Locally owned and operated, Best Price Fireworks takes pride in offering great value, unbeatable variety, and friendly service to help you celebrate safely and memorably. Want to go really big this year? Head over to the Kokomo Post Facebook page, which you might be on right now, and enter to win a $500 worth of fireworks. Just look at the Best Price Fireworks post, follow the easy steps, and the winner will be announced on July 4th. Makes sense.
There you go.
Get more bang for your buck. Dang it, I messed up the last best line. Get more bang for your buck only at Best Price Fireworks. Thanks for them for being a new ad sponsor for the Mayor Tyler Moore Show. All right, so let's get ready.
And I'm sure, speaking of fireworks, there may be a question or two in there in regards to that, because we're already getting emails and calls and such that folks have already started celebrating a little earlier than the window within which certain fireworks that leave the ground and explode are actually permitted. And so, folks, if you do get your fireworks and such prior to, be respectful. Not everybody celebrates the same as others, and still have bedtime hours, have pets that get a little frightened by them and such. And so just try to be respectful of the neighbors.
Gotcha.
Please.
Absolutely. Always, not just fireworks season. So, all right, let's get into the Ask the Mayor segment, where if you have submitted a bunch of questions before the show, but if you are in the live chat, I see our buddy Carl down there in the live chat, as well as Courtney's in the live chat leaving comments. So if you have any questions for the mayor, leave it in the chat below. And then I'll pull those over to my notes and we will get to those as they come up. So the first question I have today is from Nikki on Facebook. Poison hemlock is taking over our trails. Please do something about it before seeds go airborne and someone is hurt or killed.
Okay.
Nikki on Facebook.
Are there certain areas of the trails where that is located? If she could throw that either in a follow-up message or email or such, we'll send our folks out and about, and our newly hired arborist, which was brought on board last October, I think, and kind of have him check things out too. But we'll definitely make some trips along the trails and try to find that. But if she's got certain locations where it's been identified, that would help. So
gotcha.
We'll get on it.
Well, Nikki, if you're watching this, or maybe you see it in a clip later, let us know. Yeah, it sounds like the beginning of like the Last of Us show. Like poison hemlock is coming. It's going airborne. So. No, I'm not going to sleep tonight. Thanks for that, Nikki. Next question is from Deborah on Facebook. Property taxes seem to go up every year. I'd like to know where that money is spent. Deborah wants a full budget breakdown of property taxes.
Sure. So because the taxes go up because taxes are based on assessments, it's because assessments are creeping up as well, and that assessments are based on the market activity. So sales prices of homes dictate how the assessments rise, and that. But those property tax dollars are going back to the general budget, sometimes into the schools and such. But it's not that property taxes are going up and costs and employee salaries are staying stagnant or staying level. I mean, those are increased, and folks are experiencing that, in their own individual budgets as well. Cost of groceries, cost of utilities, cost of everything. So those property taxes still go to the general budget that are being spent on resources, services, employees, and such. That the cost for each of those continues to rise. So we try to do the best we can to navigate and work within those budgets and such to maximize the amount of tax dollars we receive. Doesn't always seem like it, especially when it seems like roads aren't getting done or problems continue to persist. But believe it or not, there's more that's getting done than what folks actually see and hear. And kudos to our city street department, which also is trash and parks and wastewater. I mean, there's police, fire, and such. I mean, so it's all going to good use.
Got it. Okay, next question is from Lindsay on Facebook. Dog breeding, animal cruelty, and loose dogs are a big problem in Kokomo. When will the current city ordinance be updated to allow for a safer city for our citizens and our animals? Sincerely, a Kokomo citizen and a shelter volunteer.
Okay, so a lot of that, I know there's concerns with, and being a shelter volunteer, they probably see some of the struggles that the Humane Society experiences in trying to cover those areas or those calls on animals that may be neglected or are in situations that may be against the current ordinance in place. But there's been a countywide ordinance proposed by county government and passed back and forth between city and county, and also looked at by Rusheville and Greentown, because what the county is wanting to propose again would cover everything within the county, whether it's incorporated city of Kokomo or towns of Greentown or Rusheville. And so getting everybody to agree to what that looks like. We're in the process of trying to finalize that and still work within the means that each of those municipalities have, but then also the constraints that the Humane Society faces as well. So the current animal ordinance that's being proposed is being passed, and hopefully will get massaged and agreed to and approved yet this year.
I met a dog over the weekend, and the dog's name was Goose, and I think it's my favorite dog name I've ever heard in my entire life.
Nice.
Goose the dog.
Goose the dog.
It's just a fantastic name. Next question is from JC on Facebook. Why have you let Kokomo turn into Detroit and Chicago? Kokomo used to be a good place to live.
I guess I'm assuming that some of the reports of the violent activity over the weekend and such may be part, but don't know what he or she is specifically referring to with Chicago or Detroit. But I put our department and the current crime stats of Kokomo versus Kokomo or Chicago and Detroit any day, and kind of have a pretty good idea that we're in a much better state than Chicago and Detroit if they're talking about violence. If they're talking about economic development, great. Yeah, we're trying to get some bigger name things. We're trying to get more jobs. We're trying to increase on housing and such. So if that's what they're referring to, then absolutely we're rolling ahead. But I doubt that that's what they're meaning. So
there are some questions that big, bold statements, but then lack of detail. So this show's never been a show that's been afraid of big questions or hard topics. But if you're going to come out with something like that, maybe have some more details so we can have a better conversation about it. I don't know. Maybe we'll start doing some call-ins. That'll be interesting.
Sure.
Next question is from Misty on Facebook. What is he going to do about the violence and crime rate? Here we go. I understand the last administration imported all of this criminal activity, so we looked good on paper, but it's been hell in Kokomo for a while. He needs to fix it and then explain exactly how he needs voted out. Misty on Facebook.
Okay. Well, I mean, we've been very as active as we can to increase the numbers within the police department, but unfortunately, because of the equally large exodus of those retiring and or pursuing other employment opportunities, we've done actually the best we can with the number of officers that we have on the streets and in our departments. I don't know that the previous administration necessarily imported people in order to make us look better on paper. I know that housing-wise, with the Housing Authority, that all that had to do with availability on the wait list for Section 8 housing or those vouchers, and so some of that came into play. But I don't know. I mean, I guess I hadn't heard that, from a larger amount of people that Kokomo has actually gone to hell. I mean, there's still, I mean, we've beefed up the police presence at Kokomo Beach to make that safer. We've taken measures with electric bikes now that our officers will be able to spend more time on the trails and in the parks to help enforce some of that. We've, again, with recruiting, tried to add bodies. We should, at the end of this year, we'll have added close to 10 more officers, hopefully getting them on the streets sooner than later. I mean, so we're slowly continuing to take those measures to be more proactive versus reactive in situations, but people are still going to be dumb. I mean, the whole incident over the weekend where the unfortunate shooting of the young man. I mean, there was a police presence. There was the Kokomo police. There was the Indiana State Police. I think Howard County Sheriff's even. I mean, so there was a police presence there when the suspect got stupid and decided that he was going to take his hate out on. I mean, so. People are, I mean, we're trying to find ways to deter that. And so I think we're doing a better job than what people tend to believe when really a lot of what you hear on social media is a lot of the negative. I mean, we've got additions to the police department. The sheriff's department's working on beefing up their numbers as well. And so I think a lot of the measures that are being taken are making Kokomo a lot safer than what folks either hear or tend to believe or want to believe.
I mean, you're right, because I'm trying to think back, like in recent shows, crime has not been like a large topic from questions from the audience lately. And I think it is maybe, from that unfortunate incident, like over the weekend at Road Nights, where people are feeling that more than not. And like, I know you're saying like the crime rates and things like that, you're proud of where those numbers are going. Where are we, compared like year over year for like violent crimes and things like that? Do you have any idea of like the stats of that and see what direction we're going?
Yeah, they've been trending down, and anytime we say that, I mean, then critics immediately jump out and they're like, sure. Oh, well, you can report anything you want, or the reporting change. And so of course it's going to look like, or you're not, reporting everything. Okay, but I mean, a lot of the measures, it's just like speeding. I mean, somebody said, there's with the high rate of speed that people are going through neighborhoods and such, you need to reduce the speed limit. Well, speed limit signs or any type of signage only keeps the honest even more honest. I mean, if somebody's going to speed, if somebody's going to bring a gun to a fist fight, they're going to do it whether,
sure,
what you have in place or not. I mean, I'm not saying that as an excuse, because it's not. I mean, we're trying to still find ways, to address incidents like that happen, to keep the impression of those either in our community or outside of the community to think that, Kokomo's, a terrible place to live, or that it's, too, violent or more violent than what it actually is. So,
well, it is. I mean, it's tough too. You touched on a little bit. Like, we do live in a time right now where people easily question data and facts and logic, even sometimes, because it goes against the views that they have, or like the beliefs that they have, or the points that they have, or it goes against what their team is saying at the time. So it is tough when to look at data and say, well, like it's trending down, and someone just looks at you and says, well, I don't believe your data. Well, I mean, data is data. So, I mean, it's tough, but I think the last weekend, the incident that did happen, at that local event, and I think near Studebaker Park is where it was. It's unfortunate. I mean, for so many reasons. It's obviously unfortunate, and but that doesn't, one incident does not define,
should not define
the entire crime culture and the rate of crime in an
or
entire
the state
city.
of all other events.
Correct.
I mean, we've got a handful of events coming up this weekend for Juneteenth and other things. You know, there's still an event out near Studebaker Park by Carver Center again. I mean, so hopefully folks don't get concerned with that, because it's a wonderful celebration out there. The Carver Center is bringing their summer celebration back to the square as opposed to down in Foster Park. I mean, so looking forward to seeing the excitement surrounding that. I mean, so you're right. I mean, we shouldn't let one incident define either the community or the state of events that are being held.
Yeah, and it's tough too, because I mean, there's been multiple events that have happened, giant community events where nothing wrong would happen, but we don't let those good things define where we're at. We choose like the bad things to define where we're at, which is unfortunate. Okay, next question is from Joseph on Facebook. I have a tree on the sidewalk strip that roots are pushing up the sidewalk. Why am I responsible for having to pay half the cost to have the tree removed and the sidewalk repaired? I did not plant the tree. I think it should be the city's responsibility to fix the issue.
And he can contact either the engineering department or street department and have them assess that. And maybe he has. That's why he's saying he's got to pay, half of what the repair is. But I guess it depends case by case. I mean, there are a lot of situations where if it's a particular tree that's causing the issues, that we've taken it down and repaired that small section of sidewalk as opposed to the entire sidewalk. I mean, so the paying half of that is usually our sidewalk program, to replace an entire section or entire block's worth. But if there is, a tree whose roots or is creating the issue on the sidewalk. I mean, there's times plenty that the cities come out and they run the assessment, and if it looks like it needs to be done and the city's responsibility, will do it. So again, he can contact the street department to have them check it out, either street or engineering, with the actual location of that, and it can go from there. But I mean, if he's already done that, and that's why he's saying paying half of that, then possibly somebody has taken that already run that assessment.
Sure.
But if not, give us a call, give the address. We can have somebody come by and check it out.
That was one of those weird realizations. I remember the first house we bought, and we had this big, beautiful, gorgeous old tree in our front yard. And it was like after we got the keys, I'm like, wait, that's my tree. Like, we own that tree now. And it was like a cool thought. Like, you didn't just buy the house, you bought the land and everything that's on it. So Joseph, no, you maybe didn't plant the tree, or anything like that, but neither did the city. And nature happened probably over the years.
Yeah, either
like
nature
that tree,
happened or
So I mean, it comes with the responsibility of the land. I mean, your grass is also your responsibility. I don't think you probably planted all that grass as well, but the city's not going to come and cut the grass for you. It's your land, it's your tree, it's your grass, it's your responsibility. Next question is from Justin on Facebook. What do we do about the people begging for money at 931 in Markland? There is one gentleman at the intersection every day and a man/woman couple on the weekends. I have no doubt they are down on their luck, and if I were in a better place financially, I would help. But I feel like it's kind of dangerous for them to be standing on the median like that. What kind of help is available to them? So multiple questions there.
Right. So a lot of the help is in town, and maybe they've pursued that, and there may be strings attached to something or certain requirements or rules and such, whether it's housing or services and such, and a lot of folks just ignore that, or they don't see. I mean, they'd rather have a handful of money as opposed to a bag that's got some hygiene items in it or some snacks and such. I mean, it's case by case, but yes, it's definitely dangerous for them to be on the medians and such. So ignoring them will, give them reason not to stay. But again, if it appears to become a safety issue, they need to contact the Kokomo Police Department and have them come out and politely move those individuals along, which they've done, especially if it's along 931, where they may be in and out or close to traffic. I mean, especially if they're walking up and approaching cars and knocking on windows and such. I mean, that's definitely a violation, and they need to contact the police department.
Yeah, I mean, it is sketchy out there in the median there, and scary for those people for sure. Next question is from Robert on Facebook. Why isn't he repaving any roads? He's just patching them, but not really. There are so many roads that are horrible, and after they patch them, it's even worse sometimes. Robert on Facebook.
Because we can only get to so many, and because it's more costly to do sections than it is to do patchwork. That's why we try the best we can to patch. Yes, it never, it's not the end all fix, but it, again, kind of a Band-Aid. It's just unfortunate. I mean, we pave, they are out paving. I mean, take time and go around, and it's unfortunate that we have to take assessments and we have to prioritize the jobs and such, and are limited on the speed within which we're able to repave because of the availability of asphalt. I mean, usually E&B on that's doing state projects or larger projects, a lot of times gets first priority, but where they still are working with us. But I mean, our crews are out trying to pave sections as best we can, but it's not as easy, it's not as simple, it's not as costly or cost effective to do as much as we can. I mean, but it's definitely never as much as we want to, and a lot of that is weather permitting and again, just costs and manpower. So we're doing the best I can to address as much as they can. If there's something, in particular, you can call the street department and ask them to be considered, or the engineering department, to ask them to consider having that on the top of the priority list as they do the assessments each year of the streets around town.
Gotcha. Also, if you think Kokomo roads are bad, spend like 10 minutes up in Michigan.
Or in Indianapolis.
Yeah, they're not great. Next question is from Tony on Facebook. Okay. Just wondering if anything can be done to lessen the risks of flooding throughout the city. So we kind of talked about this in the top of the show, but maybe specific things families can do, or are we talking maybe city, like infrastructure-wise, to help with drainage and flooding?
Yeah, so as we continue to do housing developments, I mean, a lot of that even though they'd be in the city, they've got to get approval from the county drainage board, and a lot of that looks at the contour and how surface water exits and works its way on properties. So a lot of times there's either detention or retention ponds as part of those developments. Trying to lessen the amount of hard surface on developments or on properties so that more of the natural rainwater and such gets absorbed into the ground. It's unfortunate a lot of areas in Kokomo have a lot of clay in the soil, and so the water doesn't get absorbed as quickly or as easily, and so it runs to places. I mentioned before too. I mean, a lot of folks have either their downspouts, and they want them down into the ground, and sometimes they hook into a drain into the storm water lines, and that contributes to it when there's heavy rain events and such. Some pumps as well. I mean, if those are going into the drain that goes into the city line, it just exasperates what it's collecting stormwater wise as things get separated. And so really just to have as much grass and non hard surfaces to allow a lot of the earth to absorb as much of the rain as possible can help.
Gotcha. So. Yeah. Kind of a fun one. Bethany on Facebook wants to know, can we get a Dunkin' Donuts?
We had a Dunkin' Donuts.
I got some, pun intended here, some hot tea on that actually. It was a leasing disagreement. Like we had a Dunkin' Donuts and like changed the lease. They gone. It was one of those horrible situations. Like the workers didn't even know they showed up work that day and like the doors were closed.
Wow.
sad.
Yeah. So if Dunkin' Donuts wants to come back, I mean, we'd be happy to welcome them in a new location if that was the situation in that case. Yeah, I mean, I don't know that we're actively going after Dunkin' Donuts, but if they're wanting to come, that'd be great. In the meantime, I think there's still a few around town, but everybody loves Dan's Donuts as well.
Dan's Donuts. I mean, Dunkin's is possibly more even like a coffee place these days than it is like a
they're starting to do
donut shop. They do a bunch of coffee, and you know who I'm proud of?
Who are you proud of?
7 Brew.
Are you?
They're crushing it. And honestly, I had never heard of them before they came to Kokomo.
I hadn't either.
And they pull up, and I think we did a first taste with them or something like that when they moved in. And she's like, "Yeah, we're coming from some of that Starbucks money in Kokomo because like so many people go to Starbucks in Kokomo, and they're like, there's giant market share here that like we could come in and get." And I was like, okay, good luck. Go against the Bucks. Good luck out there.
And they're doing it.
And I don't know what a Dunkin' Donuts would do because, like I said, that's a lot of coffee too. But who knows? A lot of good local coffee shops as well. So next question is from Eric on Facebook. Okay. What is the status now of the person to take over for a baseball team? Interesting way to put that. I know last week you said you had some Zoom interviews. So Eric, which was a little update on how the team search going.
So I had a follow-up meeting this morning with the selection committee, and we should have a decision made here in the next few days.
Next few days?
Next few days.
Here at first on the Kokomo Post, right? When that happens?
Next few days.
Okay. I'll just do that because Chick-fil-A didn't go that way. Next question is from Mark on Facebook. Being charged with a water bill when I am on a well in septic is theft. You say it's for rainwater, but you have changed nothing on Center Road. You just added a bill, no drainage. Mark on Facebook.
Okay. I apologize. I mean, it's a statement. I mean, it is. Yeah. So part of the wastewater utility bill does go to stormwater, and it's stormwater how, as I just mentioned, water leaves an individual's property and goes into the stormwater system. There's been measures taken not just along Center Road but other areas as well, and it's regulated as such. But yeah,
got it. Next question is from Sue on Facebook. Man, people coming in hot today.
All right.
Spicy, even. How'd you think it was smart to build a Chick-fil-A and route traffic through a neighborhood? Stupidity. You better put in some speed bumps. Do you want speed bumps or not, Kokomo?
So is that directed towards the folks at Chick-fil-A? Because Chick-fil-A selected that area and said that's what they're going. Some other options were given to them, or they were asked why, and they had been looking at the Kokomo area for a couple of years, and that's where they landed on. And so because they were going there, the city then took the initiative to try to find the best way to try and work traffic or manage the traffic flow through there, which in some respects that people aren't excited about, but many others will be, is opening up the Imperial Drive there that really was supposed to open and go into that parking lot back in the late 60s. But then, as we understand it, a court case was threatened, and so the city's like, fine, we'll just end the street there and leave it be and walk away. And so it was part of the original plan. We're just following through with that original plan, knowing that there's going to be traffic in through there.
Gotcha. So. I'm beginning to think, because people are really aggressive today. Yeah. We got some upset people, and frankly, the garden gnomes haven't been too quiet lately. In general. So, but like,
it's got to be the mushrooms.
Do you think it's the red lights? Do you think we're like inviting anger with the color of this show?
I don't know.
I know, like in the intro and like the branding and stuff like that, it's red. But like, thoughts on the lights? Are we making people upset with this? I don't know, because this doesn't. It doesn't end. Donna on Facebook. She wants to know, how soon before the EV plant shuts down? Why is all the construction on the adjacent property stopped? Townhomes, apartments / hotel.
The downtown hotel and convention center is still plugging away. The other plans on some of the housing has to do with financing and the costs. I mean, so some of that Are the developers working through their financing options and trying to do that as costs continue to rise? Tariffs got a lot of people worried about that as well, and so they pulled back a little bit. Battery plant shutting down. I know I've not heard that they're still moving ahead. I mean, slow rolling. I mean, yes, the next 2 lines are still yet to be fully completed, but not heard any indication that it's closing or shutting down. Additional development, again, that's based on availability of resources and financing and such and planning. So, yeah, there's a lot of chatter and a lot of excitement surrounding a lot of it, but they're slowly working their way back in and happening. There'll be some additional development out around the battery plant. I think some more spec buildings possibly to invite additional either industry or companies to utilize. So I know there was all the excitement and the push to get the battery plant up, and now it's kind of slowed down, so it's a different pace. It's probably good that everybody catches their breath and allows things to settle and move at a more manageable pace. But nope, just plugging away.
Just plugging away.
Taking it as we can.
You know, there was this thing pretty infamous in Kokomo for a long time, and it was called the Kokomo hum. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And due to the aggressiveness and straightforwardness of some of the questions on this show today, I think we all need to take a moment and just Do we feel better?
I feel better.
Do you?
Yeah.
I'm here for you. So as long as you feel better. Yeah.
Boom.
A lot of booms.
That's probably it too. I mean, with these mysterious booms that have been happening as well, that I'm not sure.
We're just on edge here.
I'm assuming that they're, again, I thought it was like, blasting out at IMI, getting more stone and material out there, but it might not be. Maybe that's it too. I mean, with that and folks starting fireworks a little more and dogs barking, maybe people aren't sleeping as well. That could be it too.
That's possible. It's been a lot today. We all just need to take a second and relax. And next question is from Alyssa on live chat. Any chance of fireworks happening at the stadium this year?
Possibly. I know it's typically around at the Kokomo baseball team, originally the Jackrabbits and such, but I would not be surprised if there are a few events that may have that, and we will work with Bullpen Sports that's managing the stadium this summer to possibly see about some events that could incorporate some fireworks. I think they were talking to maybe a family movie night, and at the end of the movie doing some as well. So we'll definitely look into it because it does appear to be a crowd pleaser.
For sure. Who doesn't love a baseball stadium and fireworks?
Right.
Jeff, I see your comment about something has happened to your audio. I think we're fine. Can you guys test that on your end to make sure we're still being heard and still talking? And
I bet it was the hum.
Maybe it was the hum. We could do it again while we wait. Hum. We're fine. Everything's good. Jeff, maybe turn your volume up. Next question is from Jason on live chat. Is the Kokomo Fire Department ever going to get their ambulance staffed and responding to BLS calls?
Mm-hmm. So basic life support as opposed to...
I thought he typed that it was a typo, and he didn't mean to put the L there.
Or advanced life support. Yeah. So at this time, no, because as we've talked about before, it's a staffing issue. Both hospitals have ambulance service, anywhere from 6 to 10 on the streets at a time, and the adding the ambulance to the fire department would mean that would require the need of at least 8 to 10 additional firefighters, and with the, again, exodus of those retiring or finding other opportunities, our numbers are still in the low 90s, and at the time that the ambulance was in service for the Kokomo Fire, or with the Kokomo Fire Department, we had 122. I mean, so it's been, slow roll, but not to say that we wouldn't add it at a later date. I know that it was somewhat available and manned at the Strawberry Festival. We had firefighters there providing EMT services there if needed, and had our truck down there in the event that there was an incident where one of the hospitals would go and we would still need that one. I mean, so we've had it at Kokomo basketball games. I think we had it at a Kokomo football game as well. I mean, so slowly working it into the community to assist the hospitals in situations like that, but to actually have it staffed and manned, we're not close to doing that now. Just because as we continue to increase numbers within the fire department, it's their desire to have those extra bodies on the trucks to more adequately staff the trucks and engines themselves versus ambulance. But not to say that we'll never get to that. It's just a slow roll, with the number that we continue to try and add each year.
Okay, gotcha. Next question is from Courtney, also on live chat. Thanks for watching, Courtney. Mm-hmm. Now that We Care Park is no longer doing Christmas lights, has it been like 5 years since We Care has been gone on? Will Highland Park continue to be the only Christmas light show? Courtney on live chat.
No, if you don't mind to drive out to Greentown, the Greentown Fairgrounds has an outstanding display out there, and they've got Santa and hot chocolate and things out in their round barn out there. And you can either drive through for the lights, or you can park and get out and walk through the lights. I mean, so Greentown has a really good one. Yeah, Highland Park is still the main one within the city limits. I know this past year with the Frozen Sandlot, we added a few displays in and around the outside of the baseball diamond, and brought the Santa house there and had visits from Santa scheduled in that time as well. So not to the extent that We Care Park was, but there's still a little bit of availability in the area. But if you want something that's close to We Care status, yes, it's nice to have the drive through Highland Park, but I know the Greentown Lions Club Fairgrounds does an outstanding job. So that's just a little hop, skip, and a jump out east.
Is the goal to like slowly keep building onto that Frozen Sandlot
I would hope
atmosphere?
So. Yeah, I mean, it's like anything else. It takes the addition of displays, because when Mr. Wyant and his family closed down We Care Park and he sold the property, I mean, he got rid of all of his displays. And so the displays went, I mean, some went to Greentown, some went to some private owners. And so they were pretty much spread out and scattered. And so unfortunately, it wasn't a single individual, or the Wyant family didn't hold on to enough to redo or recreate We Care Park somewhere else at this time. But as wonderful as that was and the memories that it created, it wouldn't surprise me if someone slowly starts building that back up and looks to provide that opportunity again later. Never say never.
Never say never. Last question on live chat from Natalie. Is there a specific place on the city government website to see a list of ongoing road work with estimated timelines, improvement projects, and current building projects for new businesses? Would love to see something like that all in one place.
There's not anything with the street projects, because again, a lot of those are weather permitting, or if we line something up or prioritize something. I mean, I know this happened in the county, but say we have a weather incident and a street is damaged or something happens, and then all of a sudden, so we've got to address that, and then that could potentially push another project or two to the following year. So I mean, we've got a proposed list. We don't put it out, especially with a timeline, because it's weather permitting and incident as permitted as well. And so, I mean, I hate to commit to things and then give the wrong impression with folks that certain things are going to be done when something else comes in. But as for new projects and such, there's not been anything that shows projects in that. Could probably be something we could look at either through the Planning Commission or an additional one from the City Council. I know there's notes from each of the City Council meetings as well as Planning Commission that show what certain projects have been approved. There's not just not a specific list that we've pulled those approvals from and put on something that shows, but that probably wouldn't be a bad idea to consider.
Yeah. Gotcha. And lastly, a quick one slipped in there right before I was going to cut it off. Was from Jeffrey on the live chat. What about fixing the roads in Kokomo?
What about, let's do it.
Got it. Actually, Courtney just asked another question. Courtney says, I am gluten intolerant and love going to Tropical Cafe in Indy. And I was wondering if maybe we might get a few gluten-free based restaurants here in Kokomo in the future.
That'd be great. There's a lot of folks that have gone to gluten-free, and a lot of restaurants do offer gluten-free items on their menus. But if there's something that's specific, if she's down to, what was it, Tropical Cafe. Tropical Cafe. I have one of her trips down there. She's like, hey, I'm from Kokomo. We'd love for you guys to consider coming up here. There's some availability of space downtown that could possibly work, and some of the other smaller malls around town that they could probably find a home. So, yeah, that'd be great.
Love that. I feel like they're in the airport. I remember seeing. Is that the one that's in the airport? It's got some smoothies. Makes you feel like you're on a beach. Thanks for those questions today for the Ask the Mayor segment. Really appreciate you sending all those in, and the great engagement here on the live chat as well. If you have any questions for next week's show, if you're watching this maybe later, just leave them in the chat below. We always go back and make sure we didn't miss any comments, as well as we always put out a post on Mondays where you can comment there. Or if you want, you can always find us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, or you can always email Bree, B-R-E-E, at thekokomopost.com. Send in your questions that way as well. You have a dad joke for us today, which it's always a fun dad joke because we're post Father's Day.
Sure, that's right. No, I mean, what I've discovered in the amount of documents that I have to sign, there's never good to sign or try to sign anything with a broken pen or broken pencil. Never. It's just pointless.
Okay. Yeah, it doesn't seem like it would go well.
No.
Yeah. So thanks for watching this episode of the Mayor Tyler Moore Show here on the Kokomo Post, partnered with Robert Miller & Son Furniture. Like I said, if you have any questions for next week's show, leave those in the chat below, and we'll get to them next week. And have a great week, Kokomo. We'll see you next time.
See you, Kokomo.